We will now invite Hisham Buknis, Executive Director of Business Operations for the IILM, to give his closing remarks.
Thank you, Vaida. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. We have reached the conclusion of the 5th IILM Sharia Roundtable, and it's my honor to address the floor with today's closing remarks. I know we're running a tight schedule, so I'll try to make it short. So at the conclusion of the lively and stimulating debates that have taken place today on trying to address Sharia issues surrounding the Islamic repo market and how to establish and develop a much needed cross-border Sharia compliance repo framework. So despite several research and innovative proposals on the subject, the development and use of Sharia compliance repo has been slow and further encumbered due to the lack of consensus among Sharia scholars, Islamic financial institutions and regulators. So it has prevented a stronger development of the Islamic financial industry, as highlighted by our panelists today. Repo market indeed plays a key role in facilitating the flow of cash and securities around the financial system, which benefit to both financial and non-financial firms. And we all agree that a well-functioning repo market also supports the liquidity in our markets, thus contributing to an efficient allocation of capital in the real economy. So on behalf of the IILM and our fellow co-organizers of today's roundtable, namely the ISDB, IOFI, IFSB, IFM, and ISRA, it has been a great privilege to organize a gathering of such eminent speakers from various jurisdictions, all of whom are industry experts in their field on the subject of Islamic repo. So we hope that the roundtable today will be judged as a success by the audience. Due to the short time available to discuss such a very important topic for the stability of the Islamic industry, the questions that couldn't be answered during the event will be addressed after by the IILM and the panelists, and will be shared with the audience, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So I would like to briefly review some of the main points expressed during the session, and there were a lot, but indeed, the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for more Sharia compliance liquidity management tools, and especially an active and more developed Islamic repo. There is no equivalent in the Islamic finance world, and with such inherent disadvantage, the Islamic financial institution will continue to face difficulties to compete with the global financial industry. So there are currently existing successful experience of repo market locally in some jurisdictions based on murabaha or based on sales and repurchase instruments. As we have heard from our brother from Saudi national banks that have a dual ward structure, which has been in practice, started to be in practice, promising step for the Saudi market and hopefully to be updated more globally, inshallah. Some challenges that we have that has been highlighted, though, in terms of why Islamic banks are still managing their liquidity with only a small portion of using the repo structure available now in the market, because some issues are still pending today that we are not all aware of. Obviously, there is a lack of harmonization between jurisdictions on legal documentation structure, accounting treatment, and its challenges for cross-border transactions. The Sukuk issuances have been growing, but not at enough rapid pace to address the demand for high credit quality collateral instruments. There seems to be not enough trading at secondary in order to have a deeper liquidity market. So scarcity of Sukuk issuances is a major roadblock. And of course, the institution offering Islamic services, Islamic banks, Islamic financial institutions, will indeed benefit from higher volume, longer tenor, and global Islamic repo product widely accepted in terms of Sharia. In terms of second session has been very interesting, very technical, and fielded a lively debate by the scholars across several aspects of the repo structures, covering sales and repurchase transactions, rehypothecation. We spoke about double wide, questions of transfer of ownership, of the underlying collateral and asset, and even LIBOR transition and its challenges. So given that the current structure in the market, the collateralized Murabaha facility, the double wide, still have some issues from both Sharia and implementation perspective. I mean, globally, the way forward could be to consider a new Islamic tools with its own characteristics, taking into account all specificities, and to move away from constraint of a conventional repo structure. I think the scholars opine that we should be market-led in first instance, and consider our own Islamic solutions, taking into account new technologies such as fintechs to the extent of possible. Ultimately, there is what is possible in terms of Sharia, but also what can be acceptable in terms of market players, i.e. who will be using the liquidity management instruments on a daily basis. On terms of the last session, it has highlighted the importance of standard settings as guidance for the industry, as well as standardized documentations and centralized platform for widely accepted Islamic repo instrument. There have been some additional challenges explored in terms of accounting and legal framework that still prevent to enable a cross-border Islamic repo framework under English law. And it was agreed by the panelists for strong collaboration in futures among the global Islamic industry. And the message is there for innovation that should be real and not mimicking the commercial end product, hopefully. So based on today's discussion, we look forward to future industry engagement and collaboration among the international Islamic institutions to really focus on developing Islamic tools that will help the Islamic industry and Islamic institutions to manage liquidity effectively, especially during market stress that we have faced last year, during March and April at the peak of the COVID-19 impact on the Islamic and the global finance industry. So, of course, it includes developing an effective Islamic repo that will be cross-border to support the Islamic bank's short-term funding and long-term funding needs globally. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion of the today's roundtable, I would like to extend our appreciation to the distinguished speakers, panel members, and moderators for their time in sharing their various opinions on the two-day roundtable topic. We are also grateful for all of those who have been involved in the organization of this event, especially the ILM staff members, and the efforts that have been taken for this seminar to see through, and of course our fellow co-organizers, as well as the translators from ISRA. So distinguished speakers and ladies and gentlemen, since the ILM Sharia Roundtable is a regular event, we look forward to seeing you again soon, inshallah, when we shall all reconvene to discuss this or another topic theme affecting the global Islamic liquidity market. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and have a very nice evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Hisham. The ILM would like to express its sincere gratitude to all the panelists and participants for joining us today. Good evening from all of us at the ILM. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.